Recording in progress.
Perfect. So we are ready to go. And I'm assuming everyone can see me and hear me okay, but please let me know if that is not the case. So welcome to this talk, Reclaim Your Abundance. This session is perfect for you if you have been struggling with money recently, not receiving enough, maybe feeling in kind of scarcity mode, or maybe if you're doing well but you feel like there is a cap, like a ceiling that you can't seem to break through. And this is very common. Sometimes we are comfortable or it is familiar to be in a comfort zone, and it seems sometimes we put like a cap on ourselves, like it seems to be like a ceiling that you can't go past. Or maybe you're doing well but you just want to unlock yourself to new levels of abundance, to new levels of life flow, to new levels of just receiving and knowing that you have all the resources and just unlocking, potentials that maybe you never thought possible. So wherever you are in that scale, you're welcome in this session. You're going to get something from this session. The first thing I would like to say is that abundance, and maybe let me first make a note here. When I'm talking about abundance, we're going to be talking a lot about money today. But when I talk about abundance, I'm also talking about just having all the resources you need, having beautiful relationships, joyful experiences, having just flow of life. So I'm going to be talking a lot about money, but it's not only about money. When I'm talking about abundance, I mean just opening up to all the resources, to all the experiences, to all the joy that the universe has in store for you. And that if we align ourselves with those experiences, with that joy, with our tribe, with those healthy, beautiful relationships, we can become a magnet, literally, to attract that easily and effortlessly. So even though I'm going to be talking a lot about money, because I know that's a key topic and a lot of people are struggling with that these days, this applies to anything else that you might want to attract into your life right now. So back to the first idea, being abundant, receiving, having everything you need at your disposal has nothing to do with the world situation, with your circumstances, with what family you're coming from. It has nothing to do with your origin, and if you had the chance to go to a very posh school or not, or if you had the right contacts, or if you had the money to receive or to pursue this or that education. It has nothing to do with that. Of course, that helps. That helps if you grew up in a family where you had all the resources available for you and you were provided, with healthy food and comfort and good education. Yeah, sure, that can help. But a lot of people who start from scratch, who come from very poor backgrounds, can succeed and are able to make tons of money and to live a very wealthy and abundant and successful life, coming from having nothing. And there are also, on the other side of the scale, there are other people who, having everything, they waste it away. They don't use it properly, and they go broke. Sometimes it's very often people who win the lottery, like the Euro million. I'm talking like winning like proper money in the lottery, like millions of pounds or dollars. Sometimes they win lots of money and you think, wow, that's your life resolved, right? Now you have a lot of money, you can just relax, you can just retire. But because of their relationship with money, they end up either burning it, drinking it, wasting it, investing in the wrong opportunities, and they lose it all. And this is very, very common, actually. People who win the lottery, a lot of money in the lottery, and then they're not able to maintain it. And the reason why some people succeed and can become very wealthy despite coming from nothing, from a very poor background, and why some people having a lot of money can just ruin it for good, the reason why this happens is because being abundant has nothing to do with the circumstances around you. Having abundance and having everything you need when you need it has everything to do with your mindset. It has everything to do with your beliefs about money, with your beliefs about wealth, with your beliefs about deserving it, about it being possible for you. It has all to do with your mindset. So the good news, there are good news and bad news. What do you prefer? First, let's start with the good news, shall we? The good news is that it doesn't matter what your starting point is. It can change. It can change. And hopefully after this session, it will change. And you will leave this session with a lot of resources and a more open-minded and a complete different perspective about how to live a more abundant life and living more at ease and at flow with life. So the good news is that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, your circumstances, you can change it. And yeah, it helps. Of course, it helps to come from a certain background and to have had a comfortable life, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. So I think that's really good news, isn't it? Now, the bad news is that the only one who can change that is you. So the responsibility lies entirely with you, which I guess is not but news either, because in a way it's very empowering, right? That we have the power to create our life, that we have the power to rewrite our story. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about this in a second. So yeah, it is all about with your mindset, and that is something that you can change, and you're the only one who can change that. Because the problem is that when we are relying on that's some good bad news. Yeah, it depends on how you see it. So yeah, if you're waiting for your partner to make more money, or if you're waiting for the economy to change, if you're waiting for the job market to change and to improve, yeah, sure, those are factors. I'm not saying that that's that we have to be blind, and yeah, there is an element of what the job market is doing. There is an element of a financial crisis, but that's an element. But the main thing is how you feel about money, your relationship about money, your relationship with wealth, with what you believe about it. That is the key. That is the key. And basically, what you experience with regards to abundance and money will be based on early decisions that you have made about money and abundance. It is as simple as that. Really, it is as simple as that. Now, I know that this can be a bit tricky because some of those beliefs we are very familiar with, and we're going to be exploring now some common blocks around money and abundance. Some of those beliefs we are very aware of. Some of them we are not. They are hidden blocks, or they hide deep within the subconscious mind, and they haven't even reached our awareness. And I'm going to be explaining this process in more detail. But before we go deep into that, let's explore some common blocks or some common limiting beliefs or even misconceptions about money and abundance. And by the way, during this talk, if anything comes up for you, if something, triggers you, if there is an emotional reaction, something like that, that's amazing. That's what we want, actually. That's what we're going to be looking for here. That uncomfortable space when a part of you goes, I don't agree with that. That's not for me. because those parts of yourself, the rebel ones, are the ones that might be holding some beliefs about abundance and about money that are not serving you any longer, that might be blocking that flow for you. So if at any point that happens, if you come to my tapping sessions, or if you're familiar with tapping or emotional freedom technique, go ahead and do that. If you want to do that throughout the session, it's going to be really, really useful. You can also just use your breath if at any point, you know, or just to relax a bit more, just breathing deeply and slowly into the belly. You can breathe in for a count of 6, out for a count of 6, bringing the heart into coherence. And that's going to help you make it more experiential, bring yourself more into the body. And when we do the experiment we're going to do about uncovering hidden blocks or hidden beliefs, it's going to help you to be in that space when you are more connected with the body rather than with the logical mind, if that makes sense. So common blocks about money. How about the I don't deserve it, I don't work hard enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not as smart as those people, you know, who start their companies and make lots of millions. Yeah, I'm not that smart. How about, oh, people who have money are not good people. Yeah, no, definitely not good people. No, they're greedy, and yeah, there is something wrong about having money. Having money is not for good people and humble people. No. That's not for us. How about, that's never going to happen for someone like me. I'm broke and I'm always going to be broke. I was born poor, and poor I'm going to stay. I come from a very humble background, so wealth is something outside my reach. It's not within my reach. How about one of my favorite ones, one that I've had to battle for a long time? How about, if you do something you love, you're going to be broke. Either you have a job to pay the bills and make money, or you do something you love and that is fulfilling. Is anyone resonating with any of this? This last one is a very it's one that is very close to my heart, because I had to battle that one. Right, okay, I'm seeing some hearts coming, so I guess someone is resonating with some of those beliefs. They're very common, right? Very, very common. And we even joke about it when we're with friends. Oh my God, I'm so broke. Yeah, me too. No, it's even worse for me. Yeah. And everything's so expensive these days. Who can afford this? Yeah, I can't afford that. Yeah, definitely can't afford going on holidays these days. Yeah. And every time we even joke about these beliefs, or we just use it in a colloquial form, we are reinforcing the belief. And we think that it might be a joke, and yeah, it's just social conversation, not a big deal. It is a big deal though, because every time you go to a shop and you say something like, oh, I can't afford this, oh, this is not for me, I don't have money right now. Or you talk to your friends and you say, yeah, I'm broke, and yeah, I'm never going to make that much money. That's impossible. Yeah, impossible. Who makes that money? Yeah, really not for me. Not possible. Every time you repeat something like that, you are literally reprogramming yourself. That's what you're doing. You're reinforcing that belief. So far from solving the problem, you're making it worse. So the first tip or first suggestion is, be very careful with what you say about money and the jokes you make about money and the words, the vocabulary you use in your daily life to describe your finances, your financial situation, what you can or you cannot afford, what you believe about money. Be very, very aware of this conversation, of this self-narrative, of these expressions that you use, because every thought has power. And when you say it out loud, you're setting the intention right there. So same as if you've tried using positive affirmations for self-development, which is a great tool, with the caveat, because it's not going to work unless you first remove your subconscious or hidden blocks. But same as you use positive affirmations for personal development, and they're really useful, if you're saying negative affirmations, if what you are reinforcing or repeating is the negative self-talk, you're making that belief even stronger. So that's the first thing to become aware of. And here I'm going to be inviting you to reflect a little bit right now, or maybe make a note and take it later when you have a bit more time on your own, or when you are in nature. But just reflect on that, the words you use to talk about money, abundance, and your relationship, your position towards money and abundance. And especially the one about, if I'm doing something I love, I'm not going to be making a lot of money. I have to pay the bills, because I know that a lot of you here, and if you resonate with my content, with the sessions I do, I know the most of you here are not here wanting abundance just because you want money. Yeah, you probably want more money as well. It's great. It's comfortable. It makes your life easy. When you have money to spend on good food, healthy food, books, therapies, retreats, to treat your family to something nice, to go on holidays, to have a break every now and then. It's great. But I know that most of you are not going to be here just to make money, just to be rich for no reason. I know a lot of you here, most of you here will want to have that abundance doing something you love, and also finding that fulfillment. And having that balance can be very tricky, because there is a big collective belief, and we are kind of programmed to believe that we have to be good citizens and find a good job, and you're happy, you're lucky. You should be very, very happy, and you should consider yourself very, very lucky if you have a job you hate, just because it allows you to pay your bills. And again, there are lots of, jokes we make about this, and it's kind of like a collective belief, or it becomes what's the word I want to use? Something that we accept and that we kind of like settle for, or that we just give up hope to fight for something else. And this was one that was really, 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 really deep in my subconscious mind. And I didn't realize about it. I didn't realize, because when I started my career in the corporate world, I was very successful and I was making a lot of money and getting promotions easily. Why? Because I had been programmed to do that. So my belief system was, okay, if I go to uni, do this training, it's going to be easy to find a job, and I'm good at what I do. I'm smart, so I'm just going to keep getting promoted. And that's what happened, because that's what I have been programmed to do. That was my upbringing. That's how I grew up. But then when I realized, when my soul started to scream and say, this is not for you, this is not your path, and I quit my job in the corporate world to start my own business, oh boy, did things change. It was painful. It was really, really, really painful. And I thought, how is it possible that when I was doing something I didn't care about, I was making tons of money and doing something that I absolutely love, that I 100% believing that I'm good at, that I feel is my calling, I'm miserable and having to work so hard to make so little money. This doesn't make any sense here. And I kept banging myself against the wall, just trying to figure out why and what was going on. Was it just luck? Did I make a mistake? No, the problem is that my belief system was about money happens in the corporate world. On your own is risky. That's a big, 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 big risk. So I had to fight a lot of these internal beliefs to be able to break through and to kind of like tattoo or to reimprint or rewrite my story about belief and about deeply believing that it is totally possible to make money from something you love. But it is not that I'm right or wrong. It is about what I believed. So if you believe that you can make tons of money from doing something you love, you're going to make it. If you believe that it is not possible, then you won't. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about whatever you believe, that's what's going to manifest. That's the reality that you're going to be attracting. So far, I've given lots of common blocks about money. Lots of hearts came up when I was saying that. So definitely someone resonated with some of them. Now, what I'm going to invite you to do, we're going to do an experiment, actually. So I would invite you to think about it when you have more time, reflect again on the conversation, the expressions you use to talk about money, abundance, your relationship to wealth, to money, to abundance. But we're going to do an experiment here right now, if you're up for it. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment. And let's take a few deep breaths into the heart, bringing our awareness from the head, from the logical mind to the heart. Allowing the chest and the belly to move freely with each breath. And bringing your awareness within to anything, any emotions, any sensations, any thoughts that might be going on for you today. Not forcing anything, not judging, not reacting. As you continue to breathe deeply and slowly, you become more and more of an observer. Thoughts and some beliefs about money have come up already. And I'm going to invite you to just become aware and leave them aside for a moment. We're going to come back to them in a second. But just let them come to the surface. The ones you know, the ones you are aware of, the ones you are aware of already. Awareness is the first step towards healing. So whatever is coming up is all welcome here. And I'm going to ask you to visualize yourself being the wealthiest, most abundant you have ever been. And I'm talking think big. I'm talking proper wealth. I'm talking whatever your heart desires, you have it. Not what you think is possible. Whatever your heart desires, all the resources you need. That house that you dream of, that business or that job that you dream of, fridge full of healthy food, shelves full of books, being able to go on holiday, to have the lifestyle that you know is good for you, that you know is in your highest interest. And really step into that vision. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I just want you to let any parts of you that might have an answer come to your awareness. As you continue to visualize yourself and to step into this vision of abundance. Is this safe for you? Is this possible for you? Do you deserve it? Are there any parts of you that have something to say about this vision? Not being on board with this vision, not agreeing with this vision? Is there anything bad that could happen if this vision were real? Beautiful. So you can open your eyes now and come back to the present moment, come back to this session. And I would love to invite you to grab pen and paper if you have it handy and write some notes about whatever came up for you. And if you would like to share it in the chat, by the way, to inspire others and to motivate others, feel free to do so. I would love to hear what came up. It was mixed, yes and no. Okay, so there was a part that said, yeah, cool, yeah, I'm up for it. And another part that maybe wasn't that sure. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I didn't know what to support. Right. All right. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and I would definitely invite you to take more time, do this again when you have more time. Maybe when you're in your meditation spot or in nature, if you're taking a break, this is something deep, because the beliefs about money and about abundance are very rooted ones. They're always related to survival, to having our needs met. They are normally stored deep in the first chakra, in the root chakra. So they're kind of like survival beliefs. They can be very, very, very deep, really core beliefs. So you're probably thinking, right, so now I'm aware of a lot of stuff that is coming up, and like maybe some blogs that you weren't aware of, or maybe some familiar ones that you were already aware of, but they have become more active, louder, more vocal. So now what do we do with this? So the first thing, if something came up, this is really great news. Good, bad news again, like before. It's bad news because there is something that needs to work on, that needs work. But it's good news because if it has come to your awareness, it means that it's ready to be released. It means that at least you know where to start. The main problem, the worst possible situation to be in is when you are completely blind to what's going on in your subconscious mind. When you are not aware of these hidden blocks, because then it's like having tainted glasses. You can't see anything, right? So being able to see might not be the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's really good news. It's really, really good news. I felt this unsafe, maybe fear of not maintaining that wealth. Yeah, absolutely. What if I make all this money and I lose it? It could be a million different things. What are other people going to think of me? Who am I going to let down? I'm going to disappoint myself. What if I make things worse? What if I go back to being even worse than I was at the beginning? It could be, that could take the shape of many different beliefs. So the key, whatever came up for you, is give space to that part of yourself, to that belief. Or it might have been just like a sensation in the body, like sometimes, we're visualizing ourselves and you're like, oh, I'm so abundant and everything is flowing and everything is perfect. And you're visualizing that, and there's something in the body that goes and tenses up, and, or maybe, like the solar plexus feels a bit like frozen. So it could have been that. It could be that it's not a specific part of yourself or a specific thought or a specific belief, but it could be just a sensation in the body. So it's all about tracking. The next step, awareness is the first one. The second step is, right, okay, where is this coming from? So here is about doing a bit of detective work. And by the way, again, I'm going to invite you, if you know the tapping technique, if anything came up, or as I'm doing this talk, feel free to do that. It's going to help to start clearing that up. So yeah, the second step is, where is this coming from? This tension in the solar plexus, this weird feeling in the throat, this belief that came out of nowhere, it's not safe, it's not possible, it's not for you, never gonna happen. When did I make this decision? And you can have an internal dialogue with that part of yourself and ask them, okay, this is not safe, this is not possible, I don't deserve it, it's never gonna happen, I'm going to be a bad person, I'm going to disappoint someone, maybe someone is going to get upset if I make a lot of money. And have that inner dialogue with that part of yourself and see where that takes you. When did you make this decision? When did you decide that having money, that having lots of money wasn't safe? When did you learn that good people don't have a lot of money? When did you decide this? When did you make this decision? Or from whom did you learn it? Because sometimes we just copy or we absorb something we hear. Very recently, I uncovered an unexpected belief that I really didn't think I had, which was about life being hard. And it really surprised me, because at a conscious level, I would have never said that I had that belief. But it was only, again, trying to, or tracking an area where I was feeling stuck and going back to that part of me that learned that life is hard. Okay, so when did I learn that? Right, okay, so it took me to my childhood, and yeah, at the moment where I felt that life was hard, definitely for a 6-7-year-old, life was hard at that time. But it was deeper than that. It was something that I had heard my grandparents talk about, because they were born, or they grew up in the post-Civil War era in Spain. So they have experienced firsthand what it is to be hungry, to not have enough food for the whole family, to grow up really struggling to get by, having to work since they were really, really ridiculously young to support their family. So their narrative, their conversation, in the background, maybe when I was playing in the living room, but the conversation was, yeah, life is really hard. Yeah, life is really hard. And, if you don't have money, and if you have a full-time job, whatever that is, you're really, really lucky. You're really, really lucky. So I was kind of like absorbing that. I was going straight into my subconscious mind. And that came from a line of ancestors. And it was only when I tracked that and I understood where the belief was coming from, and I rewrote that story, that immediately, literally, like pretty much instantly, things starting to change. And that's the power of rewriting your story. That's the power of working with the subconscious mind and going to the root of the beliefs. Positive affirmations are awesome. I love them. But the core of the work has to be around going to the root of the thought, the belief, the discomfort. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many affirmations you do. And if you've been struggling with money, with abundance, you've probably come across those meditations on YouTube that promise you to manifest money in your bank account, overnight. Do this and you will receive £3,000 overnight in your bank account. And you're like, okay, let me try. What's the worst thing that can happen? That I'm not going to receive it. Well, I don't have them in my bank account anyway, so I may as well try and see what happens. And then you try and you spend the night, I'm so wealthy and I'm so abundant and I'm rich and I have all the money in the world. And you wake up, nothing has changed. And the week after, nothing has changed. And 1 month later, you're like, did I do it wrong? Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I should have done it before going to sleep rather than while I was sleeping. No, it's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that if you are trying to reprogram your conscious mind, let's think about an iceberg. Your conscious mind is, I think, less than 5% of your whole mind, of your whole brain. The rest is subconscious mind. The rest is the piece of the iceberg that is below, underneath the water. So if you're trying to reprogram your conscious mind, you're programming a very small part of the brain. Tiny part. So that's not what's going to give you long-lasting results. And yeah, I know that some affirmations and some subliminals and things like that go more into the subconscious mind. But if there is a subconscious belief about having money is not safe, it's not for good people, it's not possible, it's not for you, you have to work really hard. It doesn't matter how many positive affirmations you throw at it. If that belief is still there, you're not going to see the transformation or the change that you desire. So going to the root of those parts of yourself and those thoughts and those beliefs and rewriting that story is what is key, is really key. And when you do that is when things start to change. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to have a chat with those parts of yourself that had something to say today, to track where they're coming from, and to whatever they take you. That might be a past life, that might be a conversation with your ancestors, that might be early childhood, that might be 3 years ago. You know, it doesn't always need to be that early, but more often than not, and especially beliefs about money, abundance, are going to be very related to survival needs. So they very likely are going to be core deep beliefs that developed at a very early age. And take yourself, you know, teleport yourself to that point in time and have a chat with them. Try to convince them that there is another way to see things, that there is another perspective to see things. Ask them what they need to experience, who they need to talk to. Sometimes they just need a bit of reassurance and love. And that's already so powerful and so healing when you do that work. So that's my, so that would be my suggestion. And that's the work that I know, that's the core of the work I do with my clients in my mindset coaching and healing practice. I have tried and trained many exotic, you know, more extravagant and esoteric and strategies and disciplines. And I always go back to the basics. I always end up going back to the basics. Go to the root of it. Identify where it's coming from. Rewrite that story. Resource those parts of yourself. Reprogram the subconscious mind. Teach yourself what it feels like to be abundant. Get yourself in that resonance. And then you don't need to worry that much about vision boards or manifestation techniques, or yeah, they work, they're cool, especially if you want to get more clarity. There is a space for them, definitely. But the main work is about reprogramming yourself and rewriting your story. And yeah, I always keep coming back to, I say basics. This work is not easy, though. This work is not easy. I'm not saying that it's just, you know, that it happens just like that. But it's kind of simple and a basic idea. It's not rocket science. So I don't know, guys, how this is landing with you. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want to share your insights, if you want to share anything about your journey, if you have experienced this. There are a few more things that I want to share with you when it comes to money and abundance and our relationship to wealth and money and abundance. So the main big thing to do is to identify your beliefs, your thoughts, how you feel about money. If there's anything blocking it, any parts of yourself, any thoughts, any blocks stopping it, track it all the way down to the root, to the very root of it, and rewrite that story, reprogram yourself. Like you would uninstall all programs in a computer that are slowing it down, and you install the new updates. This is exactly the same. So update yourself like you update your laptop. That's literally the work, updating ourselves, installing the latest updates so we can be, so we can live our highest life, so we can be the best we can be. There are other things that are more specific to the topic of abundance and wealth. And another big things that I'm going to invite you to practice is gratitude. Gratitude, if you follow Joey Dispenza, and probably a lot of you will know who he is, done a lot of research on how meditation can change your brain, the power of visualization, and teaching your body, teaching your subconscious mind how it feels to be in your big vision, right? And how you can reprogram yourself to do that by teaching yourself how it feels. And he says gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. And I totally agree. Gratitude is not only a really high vibration emotion that is going to instantly shift your mood, no matter what you're going through. If you're able to get yourself out of whatever you're going through and take just 2 minutes to express gratitude, even for one thing you have, that completely shifts your mood entirely. It's really powerful. I always say, if I had to choose one practice, one thing to do every day, it would be gratitude. If I only had 2 minutes a day, to continue my self-development, to continue my healing, to make sure that I'm in the best state I can be, that would be gratitude. And Joe Dispenza says it's the ultimate state of receivership. When you are being grateful, the signal you're sending, the vibration you're in is, there is so much available to me. Thank you. I'm ready to receive more. I already have all of this. And I'm grateful, and I'm open to receiving more. And this might sound counterproductive, because when it comes to money, what we tend to do is we try to save a lot of money, and we try to get all the discounts and all the offers, and we go to all the supermarkets trying to get the cheapest price. And if we can get a bit more money from work, and oh, someone made a mistake, oh, it's okay, a bit more money, like we try to really hold on to it. And yeah, I'm not saying there is a very positive element of being responsible, obviously, not burning money away, not throwing money away, of course. But when we're just trying to receive, trying to get as much as we can, and all the discounts and all the signal we are sending is, there is not enough. I can't afford this. I don't have enough money to spend. I don't have enough resources. And we block it by trying to get more. We literally block it, because the message we're sending, when you really want something and you're saying, please, or when you say, please, give this to me, please, universe, please hear me, universe, please hear me, I beg you, give me some money, I need some money in my bank account. That's not how you manifest money. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the word, manifesting, because it makes it sound like it's a magic wand thing, and it's not like that. The work is much more deep than that. But when you are in that state, please, oh, let's see if I win the lottery, or let's try to get the trick, right? The easy way to get money. The belief you are reinforcing is that there is not enough. Whereas if you switch to a state of gratitude, the signal you're sending is, I'm so wealthy already. I have everything I need already. I don't need it. I have it. And because the belief you're reinforcing is that you have it, more will flow to you. And I know this is probably a bit of a mindfuck, excuse my language. It was for me at the beginning when I started doing this, because it was like, yeah, but if I haven't made enough money to pay my bills this month, what do I have to be grateful for? What am I going to be grateful for? If I have 20 pounds in my bank account, what am I saying thank you to? Well, thank you for those £20. However money you've made this month, however you have it, however much or little you have in your bank account, I'm sure there is something. There is always something, even if it's very little, that you can be grateful for. And sometimes, like they say, fake it until you make it. And sometimes it's about, for me, there was a point where I really had to just trust and surrender and believe. I was just, okay, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm just going to try. What do I have to lose? And when you stick to it, and again, this is not, right, okay, so today I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to be very grateful for 5 minutes. And tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to do another 10 minutes, going crazy, 10 minutes of gratitude. And I'm really going to be grateful for it. And I'm going to, visualize myself being really abundant and everything. And then you go and check your emails and no new clients today. Oh, same payroll, no promotion, no magical £3,000 in your bank account overnight. That's not, you're putting yourself back into that give me, I need because I don't have. At some point, you're going to have to trust and surrender and just keep practicing gratitude for the sake of it, for whatever you have, and even if it's very little, with no expectations. And I promise you, if you're able to stick with it long enough, you're going to see results like you've never seen before. But you're going to need to be consistent, and you're going to have that leap of faith and just surrender and just trust and just focus on that gratitude every day. Not for 1 day, not for 2 days, for a bit longer than that. And for some people, sometimes it happens in a few days, and something really shifts immediately. But for some other people, it might take a few months. It will depend. Again, we're going back to any subconscious beliefs that might be blocking it. That's why that's the main piece of work. And then gratitude is something to practice every day. And the other thing that, again, is going to sound very counterproductive. Hi, Umaima from Morocco. Welcome to the session. Yeah, let's take the quantum leap. Let's do it. Another thing that is going to sound, I think I said, what did I said something that I don't mean to, I think I said counterproductive, and that's not the word I wanted to use. I think I probably said it before, so the word I wanted to use is counterintuitive. So I think I've been saying the wrong word. Forgive me. It's the end of the day, and I've been talking all day in sessions, so my brain is like, need a break. Anyway, another thing that I'm going to suggest you do that is going to sound counterintuitive is, if you want to receive more, don't ask for more, give more. And this is, again, one that was really tricky for me. And, because you don't have a lot of money, you're struggling to pay the bills, you're in debt. How on earth am I going to give money away? I need to save every single penny I have in my bank account, right? Now, the thing is that if you think about yourself as a vessel of energy, and money is energy, abundance is energy, right? And if you think about yourself as a vessel through which energy comes through which love comes through, gratitude comes through, confidence, joy, fulfillment, courage, money. The more you give, the more love you give, the more love you receive. The more money you give, the more money you will receive. Because if you think about the energy flowing through you, and you think about not giving and always trying to receive, and trying to get as much as you can, you're literally blocking the pipe. There's no space to receive more. It's like when you accumulate food in the fridge and it goes off, but you're so busy that you just can't be bothered to throw that yogurt that has gone off, or that tomato sauce that has gone off and that has all the green stuff in it. It's not serving you. It's taking up space. So if you want to bring new healthy food to your fridge, you're going to need to make space. If it's full of old stuff, there's no space for the new stuff. And this is the same. If you are always trying to get, always try to receive, there is no space for the energy to flow through. And the universe is like, well, you're asking for something, but you're not making space for it. You want new clothes, but your wardrobe is absolutely packed. There's no space. Throw away some shoes that you're not using anymore. Make space for it. So I'm not saying, please be responsible. I'm not saying suddenly go crazy and spend a lot of money on an expensive holiday that is going to leave you feeling even more empty or more worried than you were before. I'm not talking about being irresponsible, but I'm just saying, small actions. Spend a bit of money, support that local business that you believe in, especially if you run your own business and if you're trying to get more clients, and if you're trying to, or if you're a creative, an artist, and you're trying to make money from doing something you love, support someone who's doing something they love, even if it's just very little, Thing on that health food shop, make small donation to someone that changed your life, your local church, I don't know, an institution you believe in, a support group that you believe in. Donate your time. Sometimes it's not always about money, but all right, okay, so right now I'm at the point where I'm in debt, so I really can't afford to go and support local business. Donate your time, all the resources that you might have. Send away the signal that you are giving. The energy is coming out of you, so energy can come in through you. And if you do it with love and the highest frequency possible, so helping someone in need, supporting someone, the work of someone you believe in, being generous with your time, caring for someone, when it's something that really comes from the heart, when it's something that is really high frequency, what you receive goes in resonance with what you give. So what you receive is going to be aligned with that. So I know, again, this might sound counterintuitive, and when it comes to money, we try to keep it, we try to, it's difficult to be grateful for if you're struggling financially. It's difficult to give if you're struggling financially. But it is the way. It is the way. So I hope that's making sense. I'm going to catch up with the comments. Yeah, we need to give in order to receive. It helps also to see the world from an abundant way, that there is a lot for everyone. Yeah, that's the thing. Another common block, another common belief, there is not enough for everyone. There is scarcity. We need to fight each other, right? I'm a coach, so there are not enough clients in the world for me and all the other coaches. Of course there are. Billions of people in this world. Of course there are. There is not enough food. Of course there is food. The earth is rich, So yeah, there is a lot for everyone. That's a very good affirmation, a very good belief to aim for. Oh, then I say, please guys, if you're using Apple to donate to teachers, online sessions, do it from their About Them page, as Apple takes a cut from live payments. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you've, thank you, Donna, for pointing that out. It still happens, and there is a big fight actually between Insight Timer and Apple, because that was not the agreement, that was not the original agreement. And then at some point Apple decided that from all the donations that you guys share, only from Apple, not from Android, but Apple decided that they was going to take, I don't know if it's like 30% of the donations, and they said that if they didn't agree to it, basically it was going to be out of the app. So imagine Inside Timer not being in the app, in the Apple App Store. People cannot load the app, people can't use the app. So yeah, so if you follow Inside Timer on social media, there's been a lot of that and a big movement to try to fight for that. So yes, thank you for pointing that out, Donna. Really much appreciated. So guys, I think that's all I had to share with you. We've been on for an hour already. I hope you enjoyed this session. I would love to hear from you how this is landing, any insights that you got from this session, any questions that you might have, any particular challenges that you might be facing, because I'm always happy to help you guys or point you to more resources. Before we go though, I would love to invite you to follow me here on Inside Timer if you enjoyed this session, so you can be notified of live events like this. I have one coming up next week on Thursday. Normally I have a Monday healing session every Monday, when we do tapping, sometimes other forms of healing, but I don't know if I need to take the time. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will be notified. And on Thursday, there is one that is already published. And that one is about overcoming negative thoughts and negative self-talk. So that's going to be a bit more generic. Today was a bit more focused on the topic of money and abundance, but that's going to be about how to overcome negative thoughts, the overthinking, the negative self-talk. So that's going to be next Thursday. I also have a course called Step Into Your Power with Confidence and Joy. And if you enjoyed this concept and these ideas, the course will take you through a much deeper journey, and it has lots of resources to help you get clarity on your big vision. It has a few lessons on understanding the resistance, taking you to the root of those beliefs or blocks, and it has some healing meditations and some cool healing techniques to help you actually rewrite that story. So the big piece of work that we were talking about at the beginning, that's all covered in that course. And thank you so much, guys, for your feedback, your ratings, your reviews, your comments, your messages, your donations. They're all very welcome and very much appreciated. Teresa, and a great reminder of the importance of gratitude. So important. Yeah, one of my favorite ever things to do. Like I said, if I had to choose one, that would probably be it. Trisha is saying advice on grieving the old me. Yeah, the course is definitely a good way to go. I also have some recorded meditations on letting go of old stories, theta healing meditations. So yeah, have a look at those resources. Or if you send me a message, anyone who wants to send me a message, if you're facing any particular challenges or if you want more specific advice, I'm always happy to point you to more specific resources that I have already. But yeah, the idea is have a chat with her and just understand her, you know. What do you need? What were you experiencing? What was going on for you? What do you need? Love, reassurance, build your confidence. Let me be here for you. Let's do it together. You know, and especially when you do that work, the way I do it in my sessions is a lot through, we use energy, like tapping and energy healing, but we use a lot of visualization. I always use a lot of visualization work because images are the language of the subconscious mind. So when you do that internal dialogue, when you close your eyes and you follow that internal dialogue with your old self or different parts of self, your subconscious mind is reprocessing, it's understanding, it's kind of like rewriting a new experience, and that's why it's so powerful. So yeah, but in the course there is a long healing meditation to help you do that, facilitating that. Okay, my loves, so that's me from today. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share. Like I said, feel free to follow me on Inside Timer here. Drop me a message. I always love to hear from you guys. So yeah, so feel free to drop me a message. And I think I've caught up with all the comments, haven't I? I think so. And if I've forgotten to answer anything, please forgive me or just drop me a message. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being in my world. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in more sessions. And for now, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Sending much love and light. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.